Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 28th of September 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So good morning to all the students, but first of all you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that you can log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but we are covering 90 to 95% of those current affairs which can come in your exam. So this is the genuinity and this is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily section you will receive three type of things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important is the monthly section because we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detailed current affair, second is question and answer format, third is the best 100 current affairs, and fourth one is the pocket PDF. It means the 2-liner and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are also providing 20 most important topics PDF. It means we are providing 20 topic PDF. If you want to revise particular topic, then you can use these type of PDFs. We are also providing banking awareness. It means for the banking students, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on an application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed economic survey and budget, and expected question and answer will be provided to you that is also related to budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing state current affairs and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link, log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but if you're a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years because there is very less difference of price between 1 year subscription and the 2 year subscription. And we are also providing 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. If you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start today's current affair, that is 28th of September 2021. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the first question. Sojat Mehendi. So you have to remember Sojat or Sojat Mehendi from which state has received the geographical indication tag. So mark this question in the most important and the keyword here you can see here Sojat Mehendi. Sojat is basically an area in the Rajasthan. So answer of this question is Rajasthan. A is the answer. So similar type of question you can also remember traditional brew of Dimsa or Dimasa community which is known as Judim or Judima from which state has received the geographical indication tag. So it is a brew and it is of a Dimasa community and this drink is known as Judima drink. So remember Judima drink, if you know where this Dimasa community lies, so you can answer very easily. Answer of this question is Assam. So B is the answer. And third geographical indication tag is basically goes to Nagaland's Naga cucumber. So Naga cucumber, known for its high potassium content, also bagged the GI tag. So there are three GI tags. One is basically you can say Rajasthan Sojat Mehendi or Sojat Mehendi. Second is rice wine which is known as Judima, and third one is Naga cucumber. So Sojat is basically a Rajasthan geographical indication tag. Judima is Assam's wine, rice wine basically, Naga cucumber, and it belongs to Nagaland. So very simple. So first of all, we will discuss about Sojat Rajasthan Mehendi. So it originates from the Mehendi leaves grown in Sojat, and they are cultivated naturally by rainwater for getting high content in leaves, or you can say high lawson content of the leaves. All parts of the plants are medical value. So you can also see here, this is Sojat Mehendi from Rajasthan, gets geographical indication tag. This is Mehendi, and all the you can say parts of the plant have medical value. And you can also see here, this is Judima. You can see here the bottle of Judima. It is rice wine and it also gets the geographical indication tag, and it is a type of wine. It is type of wine. And the wine made from rice and a certain herb. It is also first beverage from the northeastern area to earn this label. First beverage. And Judima is a part and parcel of the social and the cultural lives of the people of Dimasa community in Dimaso district in Assam. So there is a district named as Dimaso in Assam. So you can just remember it is a type of wine. And you can also remember about Naga cucumber here. The Naga cucumber, which are juicy, soft and sweet taste and grown organically, and it is known for its sweetness and distinctive green color, and they contain low calories and high potassium. Low calories and high potassium. And some tribes like you can say Konyak tribe in Nagaland are found to grow cucumber all throughout the year by seed to seed method depending on the soil type. So you can remember these geographical indication tag, these are very important. And you can also remember what is the meaning of this geographical indication. So geographical indication is a sign used to products that have a scientific and the specific geographical origin and possess qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. So geographical indications are a part of intellectual property rights that comes under the Paris Convention. That comes under the Paris Convention for the protocol for the protection of industrial property. And in India, geographical indication registration is done through Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act of 1999. So you have to remember in India it is registered under this act. So you can say in simple word, geographical indication tags help the genuine producers to avail optimum price for their premium goods even in the competitive market. So you have to remember all these things, but you can also remember one important thing about the states like Rajasthan here. Rajasthan Chief Minister is Ashok Gehlot, and Governor is Kalraj Mishra. There is very important tiger reserve which are recently declared, Ramgarh Tiger Reserve. This was recently declared in the Rajasthan. There is Sariska National Park is also there. Ranthambore National Park is also there, very important. Kaladio Gana National Park is also there, so very important. So you can also remember about Assam. Assam Chief Minister is Himant Biswa, and Governor is Jagdish Mukhi. And very important, 7th National Park, 6th is Raimona National Park, and 7th is Dehing Patkai National Park. This is latest declared national park in Assam. Nagaland, you can remember, Nagaland Chief Minister is Neiphiu Rio, Neiphiu, Neiphiu Rio, and Governor is Jagdish Mukhi, because earlier the governor was R.N. Ravi. R.N. Ravi now transferred to Tamil Nadu. So that's why additional charge goes to Jagdish Mukhi, who is also the governor of Assam. So remember all these things. Now we are moving to next question. Who won the Russian Grand Prix 2021? Again, most important question. Why we are covering this question in the most important section? Because this is the 100th win of this player. So in simple word, you can say that he became the first Formula 1 driver in the history to reach 100 wins. So this is very important, and name of this player is one and only Lewis Hamilton. So answer of this question is B. So Lewis Hamilton sets a new record by registering his 100th win after finishing first in the Russian Grand Prix. Russian Grand Prix was held in Sochi and in Russia on 28th of September. So you have to remember this is 100th win and 100th race is Russian Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen finished second. Hamilton, you have to remember, belongs to Britain, and he competes for Mercedes. So you can see here, Lewis Hamilton becomes the first Formula 1 driver in the history to record 100 victories. And Lewis Hamilton total won 100 races now, and the second rank basically goes to Michael Schumacher from Germany, and he won already 91 races, and Sebastian Vettel 53 races. So 100, and Michael Schumacher is now retired, so total 91 races won by Michael Schumacher, and Sebastian Vettel is so much, you can say, or you can say there is very much difference between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton 100 races, remember this. Moving to very important question section, you have to like this video, share this video and subscribe this channel, and please join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Which state launched Samarpan portal for the people to offer voluntary service? So you have to just remember the keyword here is the Samarpan portal, and this is basically launched by Haryana government. So answer of this question is A. So this is 105th anniversary of Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. Deen Dayal Upadhyay. We yesterday covered this question. Deen Dayal Upadhyay, the Chief Minister of Haryana Manohar Lal Khattar ji launched this Samarpan portal on the 105th anniversary of Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. And the voluntary service offered by the people through the web portal will be linked to various programs of the government, such as sector of induction, sector of education, women and child development, farmers welfare, etc. So you can see here, Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar ji launched this Samarpan portal for the people to offer voluntary service. And it is a web portal where people can register themselves to offer voluntary service in the field of education, sports, agriculture and the skill development. I already told you the voluntary service offered by the people through the web portal will be linked to various programs of the government. And the voluntary service could help the government and the local community in fulfilling the goal of the good governance. Good governance. And you can also remember that Haryana government also launched the official website of the Foreign Cooperation Department. Foreign Cooperation Department. So this website will provide overall information about Haryana, Haryanvi culture, or you can say Haryana culture, a reason to invest in Haryana and the export performance of the Haryanan to the non-residents of Haryana. So this is the official website of the Foreign Cooperation Department, and especially to increase the ease of doing business. And next, Haryana government also launched Hunar application. It stands for Haryana Udyam, Naukri or Rozgar. So it was again launched by Chief Minister of Haryana to generate self-employment in the state. Self-employment in the state. And this is generated by the Haryana Skill Development Mission. So just remember, Hunar application, Foreign Cooperation Department website was launched by the Haryana government, and also one portal which is known as Samarpan portal to provide the voluntary services to the state government. So this is Haryana, and Chief Minister of Haryana is Manohar Lal Khattar ji. Governor is Bandaru Dattatreya, who was earlier the governor of Himachal Pradesh. Two national parks are very important in Haryana. One is Kalesar National Park, second is Sultanpur National Park. So these two are very, very important. So now we are moving to next question. International Astronomical Union has named a crater at the moon's south pole after which name? So very important question, even mark this question in the most important section. The International Astronomical Union has named a crater at the moon's south pole after Matthew Henson. So answer of this question is D, Matthew Henson, an American African Arctic explorer who was the first person to stand at a very top of the world. It means at the North Pole. So you have to just remember this name, Matthew Henson. So you can see here the picture of Matthew Henson, very old picture of Matthew Henson. Lunar crater named after Arctic explorer Matthew Henson, and it is declared by the International Astronomical Union. And you can also see here why we are using the black color, because it will not reflect the light. So very simple ways, it will not affect your eyes. So Henson crater is located in the south pole of the moon. So remember where the position of this crater is located on the south pole of the moon. This can be asked in the exam. And Matthew Henson was the first person to stand at a very top of the world. It means I am talking about the North Pole area. And Matthew Henson was well known as the co-discoverer of the North Pole with the Robert Edwin Peary in 1909. This is again very, very important. And he published a memoir titled A Negro Explorer at the North Pole. A Negro Explorer at the North Pole, because you can say he was African American Arctic explorer. That's why he mentioned himself as a Negro explorer. So the location of Henson crater is the region where the Artemis, you have to remember this is the NASA's mission, Artemis lunar exploration program of NASA is set to land the next generation of the lunar explorer. And the Artemis program aims to land the first woman and first person of color on the moon. First person of the color on the moon. So you have to also remember Artemis mission belongs to NASA's. So moving to next question. ICICI Bank partnered with which company to offer an overdraft facility? So very simple question, just remember this question as same as in slide. Answer of this question is Amazon India. So ICICI Bank partnered with Amazon India to offer an overdraft facility up to rupees 25 lakh to individual sellers and the small businesses registered on the e-commerce platform, that is Amazon.in. So the main objective is to enable easy and trusted access to credit for the sellers at low cost. So the partnership will enable the ICICI Bank customers who are registered with Amazon.in as a seller to avail an overdraft from the ICICI Bank through a fully digital process. Onboarding, disbursement of loan, all should be digital. and the customers of other banks and a new to the ICICI Bank will offer the overdraft after opening the current account with the bank and know your customer verification. By default, it is clear. So just remember, ICICI Bank customers who are registered with Amazon.in as a seller to avail an overdraft facility up to rupees 25 lakh as an individual from the ICICI Bank through a fully digital process. And remember about ICICI. ICICI established in 1955, but it incorporated in 1994. Its headquarters is in Mumbai as well as in Vadodara. But you have to remember, its corporate office is in Mumbai and its registered office is in Vadodara. So, maximum students are confusing that its headquarters is only in Mumbai. No, its headquarters is also in Vadodara, but it is a registered office and it is a corporate office. And tagline is Hum Hai Na Khayal Aapka. Hum Hai Na Khayal Aapka. And MD and CEO is Sandeep Bakshi. Sandeep Bakshi. So, you have to remember all these things. Now, we are moving to next question. First in-person Quad Leader Summit held in which country? So, Quad means 4 countries are the member of this group, and this is strategic forum which was formed by 4 countries. One is Japan, second is India, third is Australia, and fourth is United States of America. So, this is Quad group. And first in-person Quad Leader Summit held in United States of America. It means it is hosted by Joe Biden. So, you have to remember. And very important thing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited United States of America from 22nd to 25th of September 2021 and participated in the first in-person Quad Leader Summit in Washington DC. In Washington DC in the United States of America, and all the prime ministers were present here, like Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga was there, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison was there, and United States of America President Joe Biden was there. So, all the 4 powerful leaders were there. So, you can see here highlights of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the United States of America from 22nd to 25th of September. You have to remember the date. So, this can be asked by the examiner. So, the Quad meeting was hosted by Joe Biden, it is clear. Quad countries, I already told you. The first ever Quad Leader Summit was held virtually in the March 2021, but it was not in-person meeting, it was virtual meeting. The Quad countries have committed to donate more than 1.2 billion doses globally of the safe and effective COVID-19 vaccine. This is again very important because as a part of the commitment, they have delivered nearly 79 million vaccines. 79 million vaccine doses to the countries in the Indo-Pacific region. So, they have committed to give 1.2 billion. Already they donated 79 million. So, you have to just remember this. This is important. And Japan plans to work with India through Japan Bank for the International Corporation to enhance key investment for approximately $100 million. $100 million in the healthcare sector related to COVID-19. It means Japan will provide $100 million for the healthcare sector for India. And you have to also remember about the fellowship program. So, all the 4 countries have announced a fellowship program to allow students from the 4 countries to pursue degree in science and technology, engineering, mathematics, or you can say STEM branch. STEM stands for science and technology, engineering and mathematics at United States universities, US universities. So, all the 4 countries basically allowed the students to pursue degree in science, technology, engineering and mathematics at United States universities, and the fellowship will sponsor 100 students per year. It means one country will send 25 students. So, 25 from each Quad country. And you can also remember that Prime Minister also represented Quad as a force for global good. So, this word you have to remember because it is announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi that Quad means force for global good. And Prime Minister also attended the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly, which was held in New York on the 25th of September 2021. So, remember all these things, these are very, very important. Now, we are moving to next question. Who wrote a book named as the Battle of Rezengla? A book which is known as the Battle of Rezengla. So, the Battle of Rezengla is basically written by Kulpreet Yadav. So, answer of this question is C, Kulpreet Yadav. And it is a book which describes the story of 120 soldiers who put a strong fight against the 5,000 Chinese troops in 1962 Indo-China War, preventing a possible occupation of the Ladakh region. And Kulpreet Yadav was an ex-naval officer and also a very famous author. He has authored several books in diverse genres, including you can say true crime and romance. And he won the Best Fiction Author Award named as Murder in Paharganj, Murder in Paharganj at a Gurgaon Literary Festival in 2018. So this was again very famous, Murder in Paharganj. So this was again written by Kulpreet Yadav. So you have to remember, very important. Now we are moving to next question, but you can also see here the very interesting cover page, The Battle of Raising La, and it is written by Kulpreet Yadav. Moving to next, world's highest electric vehicle charging station was inaugurated at which place? So remember the keywords here, world's highest electric vehicle charging station was inaugurated at which place? And it is located in Kaza. So answer of this question is D. And where is this Kaza? Kaza is in Spiti Valley. Spiti Valley. And where is Spiti Valley? Spiti Valley is in Lahaul and Spiti district. Lahaul and Spiti district, and this is situated in Himachal Pradesh. So you have to remember, it is inaugurated in Himachal Pradesh. So it means the world highest electric vehicle charging station was inaugurated at 500 feet altitude in Kaza in Spiti Valley, Lahaul and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh, and the charging station will support all the electric vehicle scooters, it means two-wheelers, and the cars or means four-wheelers. And the electric vehicle charging station was installed by one company which is known as GoEgo Network. GoEgo Network, a Pune-based electric vehicle charging infra setup. So you have to just remember the name of the company. And this GoEgo collaborated with the TVS Motor Company to promote the electric vehicle infrastructure in the Himachal Pradesh. So especially the Himachal Pradesh student, you have to remember, but it is the world highest electric vehicle, so it is most important question. So moving to next, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited inked a leased agreement for the development of two Hindustan Aeronautics Limited aircrafts, which is known as Civil Dornier 228 or Do-228 aircraft in which state? So it is very important, and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited inked a lease agreement with one company, and it is for the Arunachal Pradesh. So answer of this question is C, especially to protect the boundary of India and China here, because there is very much insurgency by the China, so that's why there is a need of this Civil Dornier 228 aircraft. So remember, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and they alliance and for the development of this Civil Do-228 plane in Arunachal Pradesh. You can see here, this is HAL Do-228, and Do stands for Dornier. So you can see here, HAL linked a lease agreement with Alliance Air Aviation Limited for the development of these two Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and the deal envisages enhancing regional connectivity scheme in the region as it will connect remote parts of the Arunachal Pradesh. And it is indigenous 19-seater multi-role utility aircraft featuring short takeoff and landing and ability to land and take off from the semi-prepared runways. So total 19 person can sit. And it will be used for the VIP transport, passenger transport, air ambulance, flight inspection roles, cloud seeding, or you can say para jumping, aerial surveillance, photography, cargo, so many things we can do by this aircraft. So this is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and they tied up with the Alliance Air Aviation for development of two Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and the name of this Do-228 or Dornier 228, especially for the Arunachal Pradesh. And recently, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited Transport Aircraft Division Kanpur looks after manufacturing of Hindustan 228 aircraft. So you can also remember, Hindustan 228 aircraft also will be manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And you can remember about HAL. HAL chairman and managing director is R. Madhavan, and its headquarters is in Bengaluru. Moving to next question. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So from picture you will cover this, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched this Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission via video conference, and the program was organized by World Tourism Day. It was celebrated on 27th of September. Today we will cover this question also. So the mission was launched under the pilot project known as the National Digital Health Mission. So you can also remember what is the National Digital Health Mission. I will cover this, and currently over 1 lakh unique health IDs have been created under the National Digital Health Mission. And you can remember that this National Digital Health Mission was launched on 15th of August on the Independence Day, last year Independence Day in 2020. And this National Digital Health Mission is implemented by the National Health Authority under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And this mission is a complete digital health ecosystem. The digital platform will be launched with 4 key factors or the 4 key features. One is Health ID, second is personal health records, DigiDoctor, and you can say health facility registry. And in the later stages, it will also include e-pharmacy, telemedicine services, regulatory guidelines for which are being framed. So this is National Digital Health Mission. So the project is being implemented in the pilot basis across 6 states and the union territories on the 15th of August 2020. So there is another mission which is also known as Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. This is also in the line with this, you can say, National Digital Health Mission. And it will help connect digital health solution to the hospitals across the country. All Indians will get a digital health ID under this scheme. Every citizen health record will now be digitally secure, and the data can be viewed with the help of the mobile application. And the health ID will be used as a health account. So it means, in simple word, your health ID will be created and all your health details will be under this health ID. So this is very simple. So now we are moving to next question, and it is World Tourism Day. It is celebrated on 27th of September 2021. And it is to create awareness about the importance of tourism and its impact on global, economic and political aspects of the region. So you have to remember. And the day also highlights the contribution of the tourism sector towards achieving the sustainable development goals, which we have to achieve by the year of 2030. And United Nations World Tourism Organization, UNWTO, it is not World Trade Organization, it is World Tourism Organization, has designed this World Tourism Day 2021 as a day to focus on tourism for inclusive growth, as COVID-19 pandemic has had a massive social and economic effect on the both developed and the developing countries. Even Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal ji launched one program which is known as Dekho Meri Delhi. Dekho Meri Delhi. So this is the program launched by Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal ji. And remember, United Nations World Tourism Organization is situated in Madrid. Its headquarters is in Madrid, Spain. Moving to next question. So all the most important and very important questions we covered. Now we are moving to moving to important section. You have to like this video, share this video and subscribe this channel, and please join a Telegram group link from the description box link. Here is the question. India and which country launched a task force on hydrogen biofuels to decarbonize energy sector? India already have 450 gigawatt target till the year of 2030 we have to achieve, and 175 gigawatt by the year of 2022. This is the renewable energy target. So USA will help. So answer of this question is B. And USA and India now launched a task force on the hydrogen and biofuels to decarbonize energy sector. So as a part of Strategic Clean, this program you have to remember SCEP. This is Strategic Clean Energy Partnership. It is in between India and United States of America. So both countries launched a new public-private hydrogen task force and the biofuel task force to expand the use of clean energy technology for decarbonizing of energy sector. And USA already told that USA is also supporting India for the development of the 450 gigawatt of energy capacity by the year of 2030. So you can see here USA and India launched task force for the hydrogen and the biofuels. So now we are moving to the one-liner important point. Here is the first point. Commerce Ministry, it means Ministry of Commerce and Industry, celebrated Vanijya Saptah, not Shapath, Saptah 20 to 26 September 2021. What is the meaning of this Vanijya Saptah? It is means Trade and Commerce Week. Trade and Commerce Week. So this means. So Trade and Commerce Week is celebrated between 20th to 26th of September. 20th to 26th of September as a celebration of 75 years of independence. And the Department of Commerce organized various programs and events across India to showcase the rising economic force and the exporter conclave. Next, Ministry of Corporate Affairs extended tenure of the Company Law Committee by 1 year till September 2022. This Company Law Committee was basically established in 2019 for 1 year. In 2020, again 1 year time period extended. Now in 2021, again one year time period extended. So it is a 11-member committee constituted in 2019 by Ministry of Corporate Affairs to examine and make recommendations to the government on issues related to the implementation of the Companies Act of 2013. So just remember, and who is the chairman? Chairman is Rajesh Verma. Rajesh Verma. Who is Rajesh Verma? Rajesh Verma is the Secretary of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Next, World Rivers Day 2021 celebrated on 26th of September. So it is not annually celebrated on 26th of September. Basically, it is celebrated on 4th Sunday of the September. 4th Sunday of the September. So it is to create awareness about the water bodies and to promote the conservation of the water bodies across the globe. And in 2022, it will be celebrated on 25th of September, because 4th Sunday of the September in 2022 falls on 25th of September. So this idea of the World River Day was proposed by a famous person which was known as Mark Angelo. Mark Angelo, a renowned Canadian river advocate. So he started this Rivers Day. Next, World Environmental Health Day 2021, celebrated on 26th of September. You can correlate River Day and the Environmental Day. So it is to create awareness about the health of the environment and to highlight the importance of investing in healthy and green recovery of the environment. And the day also aims to create a better understanding and the integral connection between the environment, health and the economy. So you can also see here the picture, World Environment Health Day, September 26, 2021. What is the theme? Prioritizing environmental health for healthier community in the global recovery. So you can just read this, you can say the theme, but it will not be asked by the examiner. Next is ICRA revised India's financial year 22 GDP growth forecast to 9%. Earlier they predicted 8.5% in June 2021, but now they increased by 0.5%. It means now India will grow 9% according to this organization, which is known as Investment Information and Credit Rating Agency of India Limited. So it is basically owned by Moody's Corporation and it was established in 1991. Its headquarters is in Gurugram, Haryana, and its MD and CEO is N. Sivaraman. Next, Information and Broadcast Minister Anurag Thakur addressed Summit for Information and Democracy. You can just remember this key line, and this is Information and Democracy Summit on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, organized at Consulate General of France, New York in United States of America. So the minister stressed on the need to engagement with the member countries to address misinformation during an infodemic and learn from each other to understand the issues and to find suitable solutions to address them. So India is the founding member and signatory of the International Partnership for Information and Democracy. It was launched in New York in 2019 in the framework of the Alliance of Multilateralism, and with an aim to promote freedom of opinion and expression and access for free and reliable information. So remember, this Information and Democracy platform was launched in 2019. So moving to next section, it is our question of the day. What was the question of 26th and 27th of September 2021? Question was very simple. Which was the first RRB named Prathama Gramin Bank? Which bank started this first RRB? So I think all the students know this RRB. First RRB is Prathama Gramin Bank. Pratham stands for first Gramin Bank, which was established on the 2nd of October on Gandhiji birthday in 1975. This was the first RRB. And first RRB was basically set up by Syndicate Bank. So answer of this question is Syndicate Bank, not the Punjab National Bank. Punjab National Bank was basically, you can say, the sponsor bank of this RRB, the first sponsor bank of the RRB. But Syndicate Bank established this RRB, that is the Prathama Gramin Bank. After that, RRB Act was formed in 1976, and to regulate RRBs, NABARD was formed in 1982. So you can remember this. Moving to the question of the day. Question of the day is very simple. Which is the first Indian bank to open branch outside India? So very simple question and very important question. You have to answer me only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. Please like this video, share this video and subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And you can also press this bell button and join a Telegram group from the description box link. The benefit is that you will receive the notification on time, and it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.